All right, welcome back. Welcome back to our next video in our series of teachings on our farm accounting system. We are still busy with the transactions register, and in the last video, we have looked at how we can record the purchase of livestock. So we used goats as the livestock in this case, but the process remains the same when we purchase any other livestock as well. We just come and change the recipient account here. All right. So if it was cattle, then we would have gone for offset livestock cattle, whether it's breeding or non-breeding, and then it would change accordingly. All right. So, but we've got goats. We purchase goats. So let us then just stick with goats. All right. Now this particular video, we are going to look at how to record an expense. All right. And to kill two birds with one stone, we are going to handle a multi-dimensional type of expense. Now we are going to use feed as the example in this. The purchase and the procurement of feed for our goats is what we are going to use as the example here. Now, in accounting terms, when you buy feed, it is not necessarily regarded as an expense per se. The purchasing of feed should not be regarded as an expense, but it should be regarded as stocking up on inventory. The feed is not an expense, it is inventory. So you are buying inventory. But it becomes an expense when you actually start to expose this feed to consumption. So when the animals start to consume this feed, then it becomes an expense. And then it is then treated as an expense at cost. All right? So, and our system is set up in such a way that it can do all those calculations for you, determine the cost, and all you have to do is just to come and put in the transactions. But we'll look at them. We'll look at them. But before we can start feeding our animals so that we can record the cost, it is important for us then to first of all purchase the feed. All right, and that is what we are going to do now. We are going to purchase the feed first, and then from the inventory of the feed that we have, we will start feeding our animals. Now you will see when we go to the feed inventory register, this is basically the feed purchase and stock control register, right? So this is which will track all incoming feed as well as outgoing feed through consumption, and then so that the system eventually can give us the low stock flag or warning if stock becomes low. We will see all that in action. All right. So, but then you will also see that we also have a register known as the feed usage. So this is basically what will keep track of the feed consumption. All right. So it records all feed that is being issued to livestock. So you come and you record every day that you feed. You come and record and you put it in here, or you make a note somewhere if you can't be here on the system, and then when you get time, you come and you put in your records in here, so that the system can do the cost breakdown per enterprise, per livestock enterprise, and all that, and all the other metrics and KPIs that this system needs to monitor. Now, when you look at the one important thing that you need to do is that you need to ensure that before you come and feed the cattle, feed the goats, feed the livestock, you first need to have stock in your feed inventory. So you first need to register the feed that you bought, and then as you use it, you come and you record the usage. Apologies for the background noise. Yeah. So, and the one thing that will control that is this batch ID. You see, when you open the batch ID, it is blank now because we don't have any records of fit in our fit register. So it remains blank. You cannot put in anything else. So it will tell you that no, that fit is not registered. Go register it first before you can start fitting it. That is just so that the system is protecting its own integrity, so that it can do its calculations properly. So, all right. But before we stock up on our inventory, of course, we need to first of all go and get the stock. So let's go to the stock. Let's go to the transactions and do the financial transaction first. Let's do the financial first, and then we will go and deal with inventory. So let's say maybe on the 10th of January, we decided to buy stock. All right, on the 10th of January, 2026, we decided to buy stock. Now, before we proceed, chances are that when you go to buy stock, you are also going to pay VAT, value added tax. So VAT is also to be recorded as part of this transaction, so that the system can also now start to calculate for you how much in VAT is owed to you, how much you owe the authorities and stuff. So in the case where VAT is involved, we will not have two rows per transaction, but we are going to actually have 3 rows per transaction. All right, we are going to have 3 rows. So the 10th is going to have 3 transactions when it comes to the procurement of fit. So the reference here then would be the purge of fit. All right. Oh my goodness. All right. All right. Purge fit 001. This is the first batch of fit that we are buying. All right. So, and then we roll it up to the first 2, because the third one we want to reserve it for VAT paid. All right. Okay. So this is purchase of livestock feed. That is the description. We roll it down to the second one, and then here we say VAT paid on livestock feed purchase. Maybe what we can do, we can also just say this is VAT paid 001, right? 001. VAT paid 001, right? Just so that we can know that this is the first VAT that we paid. All right. So now we need to identify now which will be the source account and which will be the recipient account. So of course the source account would be the bank. Of course the bank account would be the source, because we are purchasing this through the bank. And the first recipient account would then be the asset account under inventory. So asset inventory of feed. Asset inventory feed. All right. And then this would then be tax pay. And this is under liabilities. So then it's liability VAT pay. So that's VAT payable. Okay. So those are the 3 accounts that will be affected. Now let us quickly set the flow. So this is the source account, And this is the recipient account number 1 and the recipient account number 2. All right. Now, for the money. So we first of all need to determine the cost or the amount excluding. So that is now the amount that is on the label that you pay without. So the amount without VAT, without tax. So you put it on the first recipient account, which is the fit inventory. So fit inventory cost me 3,000. All right, fit inventory cost me 3,000. So after that, after you have put that in the same line, under VAT, you put in the 15% or whatever percent that you paid. So when you do that, it will give you the VAT amount. It will give you the VAT amount. So the VAT amount then, besides giving you the VAT amount, it also gives you the amount now which is inclusive of VAT. So this is the amount that you take and put there. So 3,450. All right. So that is the money that you pay. 3,000 went to the inventory, and then the 450 is then the VAT. All right. So now you are registered. You have registered your the financial aspect of your of this transaction. So and your books are done. The financials is done. That transaction is recorded totally. All right. Let's quickly take a peep. Let's quickly take a peep on our financial statements, so that we can see whether we are still in balance. Let's start with the trial balance and see. Okay, the trial balance is balancing well, and the balance sheet is usually a headache. It also balances well. Don't worry about these numbers. These were just numbers I was using so I was testing things out. All right, so we see that I've put this one in here just to see. If it is 0, then I know that it is well balanced. If not, then it will display the difference between the two so that I can know what numbers we're dealing with. All right, but when you get yours, it won't have this. Okay, so we are on par. We are on par. So now we have recorded the financial aspect, the financial part of this transaction. Now we've got the fit. We brought it home. Now let us go and register it on our system. Let's go and register it on our system. So on the fit inventory. All right, let's come and register this together. So on the fit inventory register, you will see different headings, and all this is crucial information, right? Crucial information. So the batch ID would probably be found on the label there, or on that leaflet that is on that small piece of paper that is on the fit container, whether it's the bucket, whether it's depending on whether it's the bag, whatever it is. So let's say maybe it's batch 001. All right. So that is the batch ID for this particular fit. Now, the chances are that you are going to have different types of fit that you bought, and each type needs to be recorded on its own line. Each type, whether this is Luzerne and then pellets, and then so each one needs to be recorded on its own line with its own details. All right. But for the sake of time, we'll just do one, and then that will include all of them. All right. So what was the date? The date that we bought this was January the 10th, we said, 2026. And then it says there that enter the date in this format, please. First the month, and then the date, and then the year. Now, what type of fit was this? Was it Lucerne? Was it da-da-da? So let's say maybe it's leak. Was it? Maybe we shouldn't say category. Maybe this should say means of procurement. Yeah, not category. Category for who? All right. Okay. So let's say the means of procurement is it was purchased, it was not produced. All right. So since it was purchased, from whom was it purchased? So we've got different suppliers here. Let's go to Fitmaster. All right, we bought it from Fitmaster, or maybe from Cap Agri. Yeah. All right, depending on where you are, maybe even from Exifit, Jupa, or wherever. All right. So the quantity that you purchased, let's say for example, maybe you purchased 10. Now 10 what? Now this depends on the type of feed that you bought. So it's a bag, is it in kgs, and 10 what? So we bought 10 bags. All right. And the total cost that we paid for this was 3,450. Now remember, total cost is cost inclusive of VAT. All right? All right. So now and then it tells you that since you bought 10 bags at this price, the cost per unit is 345. So this is what it cost you for one bag. All right? Now, and this is going to come in handy later on. These are amounts that will come in handy later on. So what note can you put in there? Maybe you can say leak for breeding goats. Okay. Quantity used, nothing yet. The current inventory is still 10. The inventory value is 3,450. That's what it cost you. And then it tells you that you have enough stock. Usually this flag comes on when your stock level goes beyond 5. So beyond 5, then it will tell you that no. You are low on stock now. And we'll see that in a moment. So this is how you then put together the registration of the feed that you buy, and you are done. So now the system knows that you've got this feed as part of your inventory. All right. Now we need to go and feed our goats now. Now we need to go and feed our goats, right? So to go and feed our goats, we after the feeding, we now need to come and record the usage because it has been used. That is feed that has been used. So the very first thing that we do then is put the usage ID. So this is the first usage. All right. So then we can say it's usage 001. All right. And then the date, we bought it on the 11th, right? So maybe the 12th of January is when we, my goodness. All right. So the feed type, all these gray areas, you don't have to type in anything. They will auto-populate themselves. So now here is where the batch ID comes in. So let's say, for example, now you come and you type in any other batch ID, and which is not on the system, and you want to go on, and the system says, no, that's an error. That ID is not registered. Register that feed on the system first, so through the feed inventory. So then you know that you go in here and you register that. All right. So let's take the one that is registered. So they say that on the system, the only one which is registered is batch number 1. So That's the only one that you can fit now. That's what you have. So batch number 1, then it tells you that it's leak, and the unit it comes in bags, so it's a bag, right? So and then let's say, for example, this you fit you fit 3 bags, right? You fit 3 bags. Those guys can eat. You fit 3 bags. So livestock type, because it now needs to know to what must it allocate this usage. So, and then you just say these are goats. And the moment when you say goats, you see, the cost per unit is this, and the usage cost, this is what it costs you actually to feed these goats. These 3 bags, this is what it costs you. So meaning that now when you come to the breakdown, it will now tell you that goats so far have cost you 1,035 to feed them. Right? So, right. And then you now come and you put in whatever notes you want to put in there. Right. So now that is recorded. Now that is recorded. So, but now that you have fed it, now that you have fed your goats, that means that when you go back to the inventory now, you have lost, you have used up 3, and there are 7 remaining. So 7 bags remaining, but then it is still telling you that that's still enough stock. Nothing to worry about, right? Nothing to worry about. And then one of the things that I also wanted to show you, especially when it comes to the financial statements, I want you to check quickly here. You'll see that we said, let's quickly go back to the usage. So we said that this has cost us 1,035, right? To fit this. So let's quickly go back to our balance sheet to go see the inventory. So we see that the inventory fit is now standing at 3,000 now, right? It's standing at 3,000 now, and that is because we have fed some of the inventory. So the current stock that you have is now worthy 3,000. So that's how your system work together, and we see we are still perfectly balanced. All right, that's how the system works perfectly together. But now we are not done. We are not done. We need to now record. We now need to record an expense. What expense is that? The expense of usage. All right, we said that it becomes an expense when it is consumed. So the feed usage now needs to be recorded. And you might be wondering now, what must I record? What is this, and then and this and that? You don't have to worry about that, because when you stroll here to the right, you see that our system already gives you the one line. It already gives you the one line of transaction on what to go and post. So the very first thing that you do is you are going to post from the inventory. All right? So it is the inventory that has given this. So not the bank, but the inventory. So this will be your second line. This will be the second line. The first line, let's quickly go and record this, and then you'll see. Let's go to the transactions register, and we come here and we say, when was that? That was on the 12th, right? That we fed. Okay, month first, then 12, then 2026. So let's roll it down so that we can have 2 lines. And then we said, fit expense. Okay, let's quickly go and see what it says here. What is the reference? Okay, fit 12. Let's go use that as the reference. All right, fit 12. All right, fit 12. Right. Whatever reference you want to use, it's fine. It's fine. You don't even have to. What you can do is you can even say um, fit usage 001. That's up to you. That's up to you. So that will be the first usage, and there we go. So fit usage expense. Okay, that will be the description. And now the source account is going to be the one account that is giving value. So in this case, it is going to be the inventory, the fit inventory. So the asset inventory fit. All right. So that is what is going to. That is the source account. The recipient of this would then be the fit expense. So expense livestock fit. Right. So not the bank, because there's no movement from the bank here. So it's these two accounts that are involved. All right. So then we go and we say this is the source, and this is the recipient of this, and we say how much was it? We go back, we see feed usage, and it's 1035. So feed expense, you see also here that all this information there, this is the second line we said, right? So all this information is already given to you. All you have to do is just to go put them in, as we said. And it's similar to what we have already put in there. All right, so 1035. So 1035. All right, and that's also the same, 1035. And we are done. And we are done. So we have recorded our expense. So we went all the way there just to come to getting an expense, because we did not have inventory. That's why this message took so long. But it was a necessary step. Now let's quickly go and look at the dashboard. And now we see that among the major expenses, feed cost us 1035 so far. And we are in a minus with 1035, all right, because we don't have any revenue. So even when we go up there, we see that we don't have any revenue so far, because we haven't made any income, we haven't made any sales, and there we go. Yes, so that brings us to the end of this particular video. We are going to end it off now, so that we can go to the next one. And in the next video, we are going to look at how to record health transactions. All right? Health transactions. So I will see you in the next one.